Hi there, Steve Kaufman here today at my Steve's Cafe. And today I want to talk about literacy and I want to talk about Donald Trump and literacy to some extent. Um, Before I get into that, of course, there was today in the England Russia match at the European Cup, there was a great amount of violence. The Russian fans attacked the English fans. Mind you, the English fans have been behaving abominably for the last 2, 3 days. As far as I'm concerned, if they turf both teams, Russia and England, out of the European Cup, that would probably be a good thing for the European Cup. But then Canada doesn't have a team there, so who am I to say? But it's pretty disgusting to see the way those hooligans are behaving, and I gather it's also the French ultras and a whole bunch. What a miserable culture. We don't get that in hockey. Although in Vancouver we had a riot when Vancouver lost in the Stanley Cup. Why do people behave so badly? Anyway, getting back to Donald Trump. And he sort of started me on this thing because I watched on CNN this morning. I watched first I watched Hillary Clinton speak to the Planned Parenthood Association, and then I saw Donald Trump speak to some Christian group. And I mean, the difference if we leave aside their politics, the difference in the quality of the presentation is astounding. Hillary speaks well, she uses the language well, she sounds intelligent, she makes sense, she's balanced, she flows logically from one thought to the next. Trump, he is all over the place, makes no sense, jumps from one thing to another, and it's hard to believe that, he likes to say, I have a good brain. It's not evident from his speech. And he likes to say, I went to one of the best universities, and that's also not evident. What do people learn at university? So then I did a bit of research. It turns out that Trump has 27% more support than Hillary amongst white, non-college graduates. Amongst college graduates, it's even. White college graduates, it's even between Hillary and Donald, between Clinton and Trump. Now, I also found a website that tells me that people who don't go to college have lower literacy levels than people who go to college or graduate from college. That's not surprising, all right? Although a lot of people who go to college don't graduate, but that's another issue. However, amongst college graduates in the United States, only 25% are competent or have sufficient literacy skills to learn from reading, to really understand what they're reading. And that 25% goes up to 31% amongst postgraduate students in the United States. So even that 50%, and I should say that in the United States, about 50% attend college, which in my mind is far too high. And so, is it possible that the support for Trump is higher amongst that 75% of college graduates who have poor literacy skills? Because in my opinion, if a person has good literacy skills and can read a lot and read quickly and access a lot of information, they would know that Donald Trump has historically in his career promised all kinds of stuff and delivered very little. Atlantic City, Trump University, Trump Steak, and so forth. And so they would have perhaps a different perspective on what Trump is saying about making the America great. We'll give you jobs. We'll do this. We'll do that. I don't know that for a fact, but we do know that the people who don't go to college are more likely to support Trump. On the subject of literacy, I also found another interesting website where they talk about the importance of oral literacy in sort of comprehensive literacy. And the reason I'm interested in the subject is one of the big issues in the American campaign is the increasing divide between rich and poor. In 1970, more people were bunched up. You had a bit of a bell curve insofar as income distribution was concerned. Most of the people were in the middle. Now we have a much flatter curve with a big spike of people in the top 1%, including Donald Trump, of course. So one of the reasons I think, or put it another way, I think statistics demonstrate that high levels of literacy is one of the best indicators of economic success, academic success, and so forth. So therefore, the higher the level of literacy in a society, the better people will do. The more people who have poor literacy skills, the more people will have trouble, doing well economically. So this particular website, which talks about the importance of oral and comprehensive literacy and talks about the importance of reading for learning, really, is something that I fully sympathize with. And that's kind of behind Link, which, as you know, is my language learning website, where every lesson has audio. You want to listen and read. We have ways for people to focus on words and phrases, save these phrases. Now with text-to-speech, you can hear the phrases that you have saved. That relationship between listening, reading, focusing on words, learning phrases, enriching your vocabulary so that you can then actually access more challenging material, more interesting material, learn more. This is a virtuous cycle. The more you read, the better you can read. The better you read, the more material you access, the more words you know, the more words you can infer, and so forth and so on. So I'm going to leave links to these articles. And so really what I want to stress is the importance of literacy in order to reduce inequality in any society, the rather low levels of literacy in the United States. I don't have statistics for Canada or for Europe. There may be a similar situation there, that like 75% of college graduates in the United States have low levels of literacy, and that college graduates, or at least white non-college attendees, are more likely to support Trump, more likely to put up with the kind of speech that I heard this morning. And probably, I'm guessing, a number of the college graduates who support Trump, I suspect, fall into that 75% of college graduates who have poor literacy skills. So, there you have it. To me, Trump looks like a guy who doesn't read very much. Anyway, I look forward to... Oh, and one more thing. I'd be quite open to having, discussions here with other people. 2 or 3 people could join me. We could exchange views, and we could do it in English or in French or in Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, whatever language I speak, and we could have, an exchange of views live for people to listen to. And so, that's that. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.